from the beginning, like how the events transpired.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this was the night before Halloween, and I was at a live out. I forget where it was or whose it was. It was behind the soccer fields, and forget who I was with, but I was with some people I knew, a whole bunch of people I didn't know, and got just pretty drunk. Beer and drinks, and I left, I think, around 1 in the morning. Diana had stayed in the dorms. I was currently living at Rogers, and she was just one floor below me. And I walked all the way up to Colorado, and instead of just going all the way out to Stadium and then walking down to Rogers, my drunk mind thought that it would be a lot faster to go up through the Cub. So it was already not going to end well. Like, my plan was already pretty bad. But I was stopped between the two gyms by a cop who was sitting in his patrol car. Well, I was turning the corner into the little alleyway between the gyms, and I saw the car. And instead of turning around quickly, I thought that would be too obvious. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to power through it. I'm just going to try to act as sober as possible, just walk by, hopefully they're not in the car. And I was walking towards the car to go through up to the elevator when I saw that both of the doors opened. They both came out, and the police officer, and it looked like it was a police officer and an intern, and they both walked up to me, and he stopped me. He started talking to me. He asked for my ID, for my name, all that information, and I told him that I'd just been drinking a little bit. At the time, I was 19, so I should not have been drinking. And I did a breathalyzer. I don't know what it was, but I was pretty drunk. And I just told him that I was trying to get home, that I'd been at a party, that it was the day before Halloween, and that I was just trying to get home. And he was pretty cool about it. He handcuffed me. That wasn't pretty cool. But he handcuffed me. He told me to shut up because I was talking a lot. And he put me in the back of his car, and he just drove me home. He cited me for an MIC, and just left. I kept on talking. The whole way he was telling me to shut up. I just wouldn't stop talking. And when I got out of the car, according to Diana, I yelled something like, fucking cops, or something. And I just walked up, and the next morning was pretty painful because I had basically a misdemeanor and made enemies with Pullman police and other things. But when it came time to go to court, it was pretty standard, I think, from what happens with an MIC. Just 30 people there, probably all from Halloween that they'd picked up. And it took pretty much all of morning. I wasn't done until 2 p.m. when it finally came my time to talk to the attorney that was there for everybody. She just basically said, just went over what happened, like, realized that it was pretty standard. There wasn't anything that I could really use to help my cause. So I ended up just paying $500. I had the option to do community service to bring it down, but I never got around to doing that, so I just paid the fine. And as far as I know, they've removed it from my direct record. So it's still there, but it just won't appear when you do a background check. Paid that off. I was clean for 6 months, so it's off of my record, and now it's just a bad memory.
Did you have to go through any classes with WSU? I know the student conduct sometimes makes kids go through that.
Yeah, as part of the sanctions, they had me do a course that only took one afternoon. Basically just talking about knowing how to drink, how how to keep within your limits, and it was pretty interesting. Don't really remember much of it, but it was just a few hours. I had to finish a handbook that basically went over the same information that we'd covered in class, and just a little bit about planning, about how being in the same situation. And I guess the main thing that they were trying to tell us was not so much not to drink, but just how to keep it in moderation. And one of the things that the judge told me was that, like, no matter what happens, you're in college and you're gonna find yourself in that situation of drinking or not drinking. So you just kind of have to learn how to say no when it's not a good idea.
It's a lot harder than people think it is.
Definitely. It wasn't until I became like a junior and more of a boring person that I really started saying no to situations like that. But yeah, definitely don't have as much fun in that sense as when I was a sophomore or freshman.
Yeah.
I think I enjoy it now though more.